So here we are in December, normally the month of office parties and Christmas dinners. If, like me, you happen to belong to a number of different organisations, you've been well filled up with turkey, Christmas pudding and mince pies long before the day itself. That, of course, won't be happening this year because of the unusual circumstances we are in. One consolation for some of us is maybe that there won't be quite so much excess weight to get rid of once the festive season is over. But there's still the sending of Christmas greetings, whether online or by card in the post. And of course there's the Christmas shopping, which again this year is more likely to be done online than by battling through the crowded shops. But one way and another, it's still going to be a very busy month. December wasn't always like this. In my young days, the festivities were mostly around the 12 days of Christmas. Nothing much happened until Christmas Eve, and then there was Christmas morning with the opening of presents and the family dinner, and then we would go round the relatives and friends and in the next few days for sumptuous teas and suppers of cold meat and pickles and silly games, and that would go on until well into the new year. In the Christian year, of course, this is the season of Advent, and believe it or not, Advent was traditionally a time of fasting. Just like you fasted for 40 days before Easter, so you fasted for 4 weeks before Christmas. It was a time when we were encouraged to think about the second coming, and when worship was centred on the themes of the 4 last things: death, judgment, heaven and hell. If you went to church on the last Sunday before Christmas, you wouldn't get a rousing jolly carol service and you wouldn't get a cute nativity play. You were more likely to get a sermon on hell. Even today that still happens in some traditional churches, but I have the feeling that they think they're fighting a bit of a losing battle. For me, Advent is somewhere between those two extremes. It's a time when we think about the need of the world. It's summed up for me in the traditional hymn, O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel, that mourns in lonely exile here until the Son of God appear. For Israel read every nation, every community, every family and individual that mourns in lonely exile. Advent is about the longing for a Saviour, the longing for freedom, for life, for home. In the church I belong to, the first Sunday of Advent is usually observed by a service in which we sign greeting cards for people who are prisoners of conscience in various parts of the world, and petitions to those who have the power to release them. It's also significant, of course, that the 1st of December is World AIDS Day. Advent is a time to think prayerfully about the world's need for hope before we celebrate Christmas with the coming of that hope in the birth of Jesus Christ. And perhaps in this year of pandemic, when so many people are bereaved and suffering, anxious and fearful, we need that kind of Advent more than ever.